it's Flo, and this is my impression of a tech-savvy royal family. Yes, ever since the palace became Wi-Fi enabled, it's become so easy to use the Name Your Price tool on Progressive.com. I do agree, my queen. Simply telling it what we want to spend and seeing all our policy options, I'll send a screenshot to Duke, the Duke of Kent. No, my friend Duke. We're in a group chat together. LOL.
It's easy to find insurance that fits your budget with the Name Your Price tool at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Blog Talk Radio.
First World Order Radio. Finally, we are on the air. No doubt. All right.
There's always going to be somebody in the building on First World Order Radio.
We get on into some of that order consciousness tonight.
First World Order Radio every Wednesday, 8 p.m.
We got to talk about what is taking place on the planet.
There's always going to be somebody in the building on First World Order Radio. First, we need to let you know we're going to be doing more shows, giving out more information on Wednesdays. Wednesday at 8 o'clock, we are now going to make this the hottest day of the week.
Proceeding levels in time, order, importance. The most prominent parts, voices, or instruments. Earthly state of human concerns in existence. An indefinite multitude, quantity, or distance. System regulates to bring about specifics in the root based on value and natural characteristics. Current radiates electromagnetistics of sound through the air, same as your thoughts transmits it. Proceeding levels in time, order, importance. The most prominent parts, voices, or instruments. Earthly state of human concerns in existence. An indefinite multitude, quantity, or distance. System regulates to bring about specifics in the root based on value and natural characteristics. Current radiates electromagnetistics of sound through the air, same as your thoughts transmits it.
You need to understand how magical this something like this every Wednesday can become. So you need to start getting your calendar right, get your schedule right. You need to know our intention straight out.
All right, so, these clues are given throughout the various languages was to piece the puzzle of this ancient mystery school back together again.
And what we plan on doing, both of us, is bringing y'all some surefire dynamite. We're going to take this level up a notch. We're going to have stuff to do here. This is not just going to be about philosophies and theories, shit that works.
You have an activated pineal gland which have produced this black chemical called melanin.
What we did was gave a hard line in the sand between the different definitions of esoteric study and esoteric study. Playtime is over.
I don't need to be a dope boy, my poetry is dope enough. Trapping interstellar while my third eye open up. See through all the lies that y'all telling with a straight face. Return of the luminous ones. Y'all better make way to find a chapter. Find a collapse on all you politicians. They politicking how to lead a world about the pissing. The way I think is more deep and in the Grand Canyon. I guarantee this black man would be the man standing. My premonition matched the Olmec calendar. It's always accurate like a lightweight challenger. For all you wicked witches and the Wizard of Oz, you and that man behind the curtain, yeah, y'all fits in the fall. Only a matter of time before shit hit the fan. Here's an idiot's guide for you on how to get a man. I don't need a bunch of homies to ride or die with me. I can call on Hey Roo to fly the skies with me. Going through the transition and that's all she wrote. Put on my uncle, gave my Jesus peace back to the folk. Came back for ancient times to bring heaven on earth. I was the last golden child, they returned to the birth. We going through the transition and that's all she wrote. Put on my uncle, gave my Jesus peace back to the folk. Came back for ancient times to bring heaven on earth. I was the last golden child, they returned to the birth. When I'm riding on this city streets, never really miss a beat. To the point of no return, unless I turn another cheek. Catch me on my ditty box, smooth as I wanna be. Just being me, never chillin' with the wannabes. God in the flesh, dated bad since the legends. Because my history is more than they can understand it. My melanated skin, star brush from the astro. I'm made of dark energy created from black holes. Know thyself, the only one you can lean on. I got some school books that y'all can break y'all weed on. Our here's Martin Luther King and slave ships. But what about the underwater cities and spaceships? My mystical mind, we had the government covering. But if the old man tip will fly away like a mothership, we're African people, we're the real Anunnaki, wearing feathers on their heads just to prove feet taller than me. Through the transition, and that's all she wrote. Put on my auntie, gave my Jesus peace back to the Pope. Came back my angel times to bring heaven on earth. I was the last golden child that returned since birth. We going through the transition, and that's all she wrote. Put on my auntie, gave my Jesus peace back to the Pope. Came back my angel times to bring heaven on earth. I was the last golden child that returned since birth. Yo, don't look at me the same, I ain't nothing like I used to be. Upgraded daily through the lies and all the foolery. My dream became lucid, I travel back in time, collecting life data for my subconscious mind. That father let me know that anything is possible by pulling down the universe through my crown chakra. Manipulate the energy is all an illusion. Knowing who you are kills all the confusion. Why 85% judge off my appearance? I use alchemy to create the word potential. My lyrics turn divas right back at the queens. Why dope boys the same twice appearing back on the scene. Everybody gone mad, blaming media outlet. The new black Hollywood chosen straight out of projects. Homo and gender war sucking up to the master. While the whole community going up in disaster. We going through the transition and that's all she wrote. Put on my auntie, gave my Jesus peace back to the Pope. Came back my angel times to bring heaven on earth. I was the last golden child that returned since birth. We going through the transition and that's all she wrote. Put on my auntie, gave my Jesus peace back to the Pope. Came back my angel times to bring heaven on earth. I was the last golden child that returned since birth. Since birth. Since birth.
All around the production.
Really say this the gift and the message. My music is a weapon when I use it on the reckless. Spaceship hovering throughout the whole region. Open up the sky and take the shortcut to Venus. Getting on my level, it's a hard pill to swallow. Like comparing your religion to it if the earth is hollow. No need to cry there and let it soak in your tomorrows. Let my music soak up all your bittersweet and sorrows. See the sun shining, I lay back and kick it. Staying sucker free is my new way of living. One day we get together, then we all start building. But the ball that I dribble got me posting like Pippin. Champagne glasses around my organite pyramid. Glazing at the stars, show the kids where we really live. These solar flares got my DNA 12 stranded. Collect the kill trails and feed it to the man spring. Washington Moors, some of us we been here to reunite the others and cool the world with wind chills. I put rap to the back for a good reason. 2012, 21 was a good season. Fake people get exposed just for who they are. Keep playing traffic in the highway with moving cars. My flow bring the fear of God to these modern rappers. They crawling backwards, kicking men and chance a heart attack. Ever since the kid went galactic, my center bracket reached the top and interacted with my solar status. The microphone to grab it, I guess it's just a habit. A living legend in your presence, sorta like the Mavericks. It ain't about me, nah, but it's about the future. A golden race is on and dealing with the cockadoodles. I sock it to you like a Grammy in your mama used to. The final stage I ride away just like it's Honolulu. I prove my old school, but since I stayed there, galactic conscious awareness, I got my grades there. See with the eye of Heru, no longer bending knees. My inner chiefs are into me when it's time to leave. This modern day crap, I don't even follow it. I'd rather symbolize my name up in the hieroglyphs. Declare peace without Battlestar Galactica. Footstepping backwards on my way back to Africa. the Washita Moors. Some of us, we been here to reunite the others, to cool the world with wind chills. I put rap to the back for a good reason. 2012-21 was a good season. Fake people get exposed just for who they are. Keep playing traffic in the highway with moving cars. My flow bring the fear of God to these modern rappers. They crawling backwards, kicking men in chest, a heart attack and Washita Moors. Some of us, we been here to reunite the others, to cool the world with wind chills. I put rap to the back for a good reason. 2012-21 was a good season. Fake people get exposed just for who they are. Keep playing traffic in the highway with moving cars. My flow bring the fear of God to these modern rappers. They crawling backwards, kicking men in chest, a heart attack them.
Once again with Dr. Alim Bey, First World Radio. We are back on the air. I'm going to bring in my co-host, Brother Fahim L. Brother, you here?
I tell you, Washita East.
Yeah, I tell you, Washita East. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, brother. How the brother doing?
Doing good, doing good. So we
all right.
On the dumb age of information. So that's the question. Why are so many people still deaf, dumb, and blind? And we're in the age of information. Does that really make any sense to you, Brother L? You know, I want to get your view on that before we even get started.
Yeah, like I'm like the prophet. I said, well, I guess I have to repeat myself.
Right.
I have to repeat myself over, and over again. So that's what's going on, Dr. Alim.
Yeah, that's what it seems like, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, before we get into the discussion tonight, we have a new website that you need to go to, and it's called Moors Bill. That's Moors Bill, Build. All right, and the instant search for that is MOORS BULID .NING.com. Once again, MOORS BUILD .NING.com. That's morebills.ning.com. All right, moresbill.ning.com. All right. Some of the discussions on which that is on there is oral sex, the key to a happier marriage. The hot topic of the day: do you believe that once a man has engaged in homosexual activity, can change and lead a heterosexual life? Why or why not? What is your galactical name and what is your sign? As well as also jewelry. Well, our hair, our beautiful hair and jewelry is powerful. And as well as also single and ready to mingle. That is also a section in which that is for the single Moors, those who call themselves Negroes, blacks and coloreds, African Americans, etc., can actually go there in order to hook up, in order to, start dating and doing their thing. As well as also we have the Moors Business Directory. All right, if you want to be added to it, just contact us at 910-364-9099. That's if you have books, DVDs, CDs, clothing, jewelry, candles, oils, herbs, natural beauty products, soaps, etc., etc. All right. Also, we have Use Your Magic. All right. An article by Princess Kadera, as well as also I'm sure you make time to love yourself today. There's another article. Contact that you can, come to and put in information and check out. We have the Moorish Guide, Corruption of Power, also on there, as well as AI Te Washito Ish, in which that you can actually learn the United Washito language section. All right, so go there, sign up today. All right, that's necessary for those who call themselves Negroes, Coloreds, Blacks, African Americans, Ethiopians, etc., etc. You are Moors. Go there right now and sign up at moorsbill.ning.com. Once again, that's moorsbill.ning.com. That's moorsbild.ning.com. All right, go there. All right, and check it out. Go to the forum page if you want to discuss any of the information that we just went over. Check us out. That was put together by United Washito Chiefs, as well as also my wife, Princess Cadera. So check that out. That is the new social media site. It's getting ready to take MySpace, Black Planet, as well as also Facebook out the arena. So get on in now and check it out. All right. Brother L, let's get back to the topic of tonight's discussion. Why are so many people still deaf, dumb, and blind in the age of information? What do you think the reason? You just got it now. You didn't too long ago just get a computer. But before you got the computer, you were still conscious. So, what is the excuse for those who do not have a computer, Brother L, or those who have a computer and still don't know?
There's no excuse. There's too much information out here. We in the age of information, the Aquarian age. So
right.
I don't know. Now the information now they want is like, what is the latest style in different magazines? What is the latest song? What is the latest dance? That's what they're mostly interested in. And like I said, this is the age. That might be for
right. So that might be for the young people, or the but why is it? What about those in their 30s or 40s or 50s or higher? Why is it? Or is it changing? Do you see a change in the consciousness? Are we doing our jobs as more, as getting the information out to the people via all media streams that we possibly can, whether it's through TV, because I've been actually on TV. I was on TV for nearly a year. Out there in up on a NBC affiliate station.
Right.
In fact, out there in St. Louis.
That's right.
All the way into Chicago. So we've been on TV. All right, we here on the radio. We've written books. What is it, that we can do in order to spread the word even more? These are the same tactics used over and over again. Even without a radio, without a TV, in the early 1900s, Marcus Garvey had, 3 to 6 million people.
Yes, he did.
So what is going on with people not even being able to come together in this day and time? Just 100 years later. We just about just 100 years later.
Yeah. It's really ironic. I think because mainly now I seem to be most of the Moors I seem to be involved with are younger than my generation. Most of the older brothers and sisters, I don't know them. I think they're very, very steep until their Christianity and to whatever and other materialistic values that they have, and it won't allow them to really listen to brothers like you or myself. It's hard to get through to them, for some reason. But for some reason, but a lot of the sisters or brothers are much younger than I am that really I can talk to. You know, I'm 62
Right.
years
So
old, going on 63 years old, and I find that, you know, but like I said, we must be making some inroads because when I call you sometimes, you and Sister Gadira, y'all working on papers for people to get nationalized. So we are making some inroads, you know. Some success.
Indeed. Right. And that is true. You know, I can tell you over the last 30 years, coming from the Afrocentristic, you know, movement, the Islamic movement, you know, coming up into even the Buddhist movement, all these various religions have, within just the last 30 years, you know, actually has had a major increase. These movements and religions have had a major increase. I can tell you that for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But even more so, in the 1990s on up into the 2000s, with Brother Hakeem El-Bey being one of the prime figures in the movement, along with C. Freeman L., Grandmaster C. Freeman L., as well as some others, we have seen an increase in the Moorish paradigm, a shift in the Moorish paradigm, as well as also an increase in the Moorish movement. You know, there's never been this many people calling themselves Moors on the planet, you know, period. You know, probably not since, you know, the 1400s, you know, since before the Moors got thrown out or left Granada, Spain, which was the last stronghold, up under King Fernandez and Queen Isabella. We haven't seen this many people calling themselves Moors. And the Shriners, Masonic Shriners, older ones, or in particular, are amazed at this, because we've had several incidences where these individuals, you know, up in their 70s, will walk up to some of the brothers and ask them were they Moors. Like one example, I was with a brother. We was coming from out of Walmart, and you know, the guy, you know, came to us because he seen the plate on the back of the car. Because, you know, we navigate on our own plates for over 6 years. So one of the brothers had a plate on his car, and he came up to us and he asked, you know, were we Moors? And we said, yes, you know, we're Moors. And he said, well, you know, I'm glad that you're waking up. You know, maybe y'all can help us with some of the conditions in which that is taking place in the world today. And then he just bawled out. He just laughed. You know, so, you know, me and the brother, we found that, you know, rather interesting, you know, that he would, you know, make such a statement and then just, you know, leave, you know, as fast as he made this statement, you know. So, but then again, another incident happened with another brother who was up in High Point. He was at the mall, and he had, I guess he must have had on his fez, or either he had on one of the T-shirts, Moorish T-shirts, and he looked and he asked, well, he said, are you a Moor? And he said, yes, you know, I'm a Moor. And he asked, can I sit down next to you? I have some things I would like to share with you. And he sat down, and he told him, he looked at his skin and pulled his skin on his arm, and he said, the only way that we're going to survive is if we mix back in with y'all. All right? So, and then he also went into some other things, you know, which was very similar to, you know, to what the first Masonic Shriner said. You know, so this is something in which that is taking place. When my wife and I went to the Grand Lodge of England, the United Grand Lodge of England. We had a third degree. I was based on how old he was. And he does, you know, as we go through the museum portion as well as also the library portion, and as we was getting ready to go into the museum portion, he struck up a conversation about how you feel about the possibilities of your first black president. And my wife looked at him and said, there was more than 9 before, you know, Barack Obama, if he becomes, you know, if and when he becomes president, you know, and he jumped back like somebody hit him. And he, you know, and I tell this story often because, you know, this is something in which that people have to pay attention to. He said, who told you that? You're not supposed to know that. Did they tell you that? Now, that was 3 different questions, but what is the answer? Who told us that? Well, number 1, Alim Bey, C. Freeman L., Queen Valahara, Taj Tariq Bey, all members of the Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs at one time. So it was the Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs who got the information out to the people, in which that told us and who promoted this new Moorish Renaissance. It was not the people from the Moorish Science Temple of America or the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. Sorry, it was not. We didn't hear a peep from them. We did not hear a peep from them until after 2005. Okay? But we're talking about 10 years before that, and even before that, you know what I'm saying? You had brothers, once again, like C. Freeman L., even Phil Valentine L., because he's also an L. Bobby Hemmett spoke often on the Moors. You had the Empress Vediasi Tunica Washington. She was out in the early 90s, mid-90s. So this is the influence of the Moorish paradigm. The Moorish movement was the Washington, was the Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs. This is who brought this new Moorish paradigm to the people. Sorry, that's it. All right. If anybody else can show me who was out during that time making videotapes, putting this information out, please do. All right. All right. You had. Right. Go ahead, brother.
No, when nobody else doing that.
No, it wasn't. And you had brother. You had the brother who passed recently, a couple of years ago, by the name of El-Bey. And El-Bey, he was teaching the Moorish Latin. All right. So these are the people who influenced the paradigm change. All right, from Negro, Black, and colored status to understanding that you needed a nationality. Now, of course, there was others who've been talking about this. People can go back and listen to videotapes, or either if they was in the lectures with John Henry Clark, who said that Negro, Black nationalities. We don't have a nationality. He stated this. All right, you can hear Dr. Ben Yakinen, who was known as Yusuf Ben Yakinen. He spoke about nationality. Malcolm X, El-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz, Omar Wali, he spoke about us not having a nationality. Muhammad Ali spoke about us not having a nationality. Elijah Muhammad spoke about us not having a nationality. So everybody knew that we didn't have a nationality. So where did that concept come from all of them to have had that information in the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s? Well, that had to have come through an individual by the name of Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
Exactly.
All right. He's the one in which that put it out there in that particular format. All right. No, we didn't have instructions as far as like doing affidavits or nationality or different things like that. There was no instructions, but there was information. If you read the 101s, if you read the Moorish Holy Quran Circle 7, if you read particularly the Moorish literature, that's what it really was with the Moorish literature, in which that got us to understand about being brought back into the constitutional fold. All right? And it wasn't the constitutional fold per se of the United States. It was the constitutional fold of your own constitution, your own bylaws. All right, in which that has those 7 articles or so, in which that is what you're supposed to be bringing yourself back into your own government. All right, or into your own organization, as we would say. I don't even like to use the word government based on the word government comes from the word governier, which means to control. And the word ment, which is short for mental, means mind. So it's mind control. The word government actually means mind control. So I don't really like using that terminology, but we're supposed to be brought back into the constitutional fold. In other words, we wouldn't have needed the 14th, 15th Amendment. We know that the 14th Amendment was never fully ratified, as a matter of fact. All right. People don't understand that to this day, Brother L. They still think that we're U.S. citizens, but we never were U.S. citizens based on the fact that the 14th Amendment was never fully ratified. Hence, that put us back into the dilemma of having a claim of nationality because the Dred Scott case was based on the nationality, based on the fact that Dred Scott didn't have a nationality. That's the reason why he was not granted what he petitioned for. And Judge Taney ruled that so-called Negroes and those of African descent are not U.S. citizens in terms of the Constitution, and nor will they ever be.
That's right. But there's so many of us that don't know that we are not U.S. citizens.
Right. And that's something in which that, if we did understand that, to the fullest, then we would know how, we would actually want to go and defend or fend for self. In other words, self-determination, and self-governing. Self-governing. That's what we want. We want self-control. We want to be able to control ourselves.
Exactly.
What do you think about it?
Yes.
Because right now, there's an act called the Infantile Act, in which that it states about us being immature, so forth and so on, and that actually is part of the 3/5 clause of what they have used, in which that many have spoken about. Right, so we know that the so-called 14th Amendment is supposed to have been used to give us citizenship. That's what it said. But the proposed 14th Amendment was rejected by more than 1/4 of all the states then in the Union. Yeah. And was never ratified by 3/4 of all the states in the Union as required by Article 5 of the United States Constitution. That's what I'm talking about. So therefore, the 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution is and should be held to be ineffective, invalid, null and void, and unconstitutional for that reason. Go ahead, brother.
That's why they have the vote. Whoever was president in office at the time of the 25th year, they had to vote on again for more vote. I was telling certain sisters and brothers, they were telling me, we got to have a right to vote. I said, no, you don't.
Right.
Excuse me.
No, you don't.
What you mean we don't have a right to vote? No, you have the privilege to vote, but you don't have a right.
Right.
To them, what I'm really talking about. What do I mean when I say that? So many of them, everybody out there saying, "Oh, we have a right to vote." People died for this right. Martin Luther King died so we can have this right. I said, no. I said, man, y'all really got it all backwards. I said, man, you all do not have the right to vote. I said, what you have is privileges based on the 14th Amendment, on the 3/5 of the human being.
Right.
They had shut up when I was explaining it to them. They couldn't really argue with it no more. I said, go back and look at it. I told them go get on the site. Get on www.alimbey.com, El-Bey.com. You get more information, what I was talking about, what I was telling you. A different sources I tell them to go to. Go to the board's civil letter. Go to that. Go to El-Bey Publishings. They give you more information what I was talking about.
Right.
And then come back to me and tell me what you have learned.
All right. Well, it's real simple. It's real simple. If they read the Dred Scott versus Sanford, it is claimed that the 14th Amendment overruled that. However, if you go back and do some research like I'm talking about, go back to 1856, 1857, on by Judge Taney. He says a free Negro of the African race whose ancestors was brought to this country and sold as slaves is not a citizen within the meaning of the Constitution of the United States,
When the Constitution was adopted, they were not regarded in any of the states as members of the community, which constitutes the states were not numbered amongst its people or citizens. Consequently, the special rights and immunities granted to citizens do not apply to them. This is why you had to have a voting right act or bill. All right?
That's right.
So if the 14th Amendment overruled the Dred Scott case, then, and it did, then where is it? Because the proposed 14th Amendment was rejected by, like I said, by 1/4 of the states that was part of the Union, and was never ratified by 3/4 of the states in the Union, based on Article 5 of the United States Constitution, or the Constitution for the United States. The 15 states out of the 37 states of the Union rejected the 14th Amendment. All right? Between the date of that submission for the states by the Secretary of State on June 16, 1866, all right, we talking about Texas on October 27, 1866, united. Georgia, November the 9th, 1866, united. Florida, December the 6th, 1866, united. Alabama, December the 7th, 1866, united. Arkansas, December 17th, 1866, united. Kentucky, January the 8th, 1867, united. Virginia, January the 9th, 1867, united. Louisiana, February the 6th, 1867, united. Delaware, February the 7th, 1867, united. Maryland, March 23rd, 1867, united. Mississippi, January the 31st, 1867, united. Ohio, January the 16th, 1868, united. New Jersey, March 24th, 1868, united. South Carolina, December the 20th, 1866, united. And North Carolina, December the 14th, 1866, united. All 15 states rejected the 14th Amendment. And that was 15 out of 37 states at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's not even half, but you had to have 3/4.
Exactly.
So not even, right, you had to have 3/4 of the states. So that's, and they never brought it back before all these states that they have now. So they have 50 states now with several territories, and it was never brought back before the 50. So here it is. If you add 13 more states, they added to this by that time. 13 more states was added from the late 1800s to now, all right, to make 50 states. And they never brought it back before the states in order to be voted on by the House of Representatives and the Senate. So the Dred Scott decision was not superseded or overturned by the 14th Amendment, nor by the Slaughterhouse case.
No.
It simply provided safeguards, and the 14th Amendment was never fully ratified.
No.
Hence leaving us in limbo once again, or rather back to square one about our nationality. Now, what the 14th Amendment did do was make a new class of citizenship. This class was legal, or legally called United States citizen with a small c. All right?
Mm-hmm.
And this small c shows that it was a lower class or caste system. All right? This caste or class of citizens is actually, they was granted privileges by the federal government. And that's how they was able to put us into the category that we're in now, to give us privileges. Now, if the 14th Amendment was ratified in 1868, then why does the damn Black's Law Dictionary, second edition, written in 1910, when you look up citizen, and it states this? Now, once again, if the 14th Amendment was fully ratified in 1868, then why does the Black's Law Dictionary, second edition, written in 1910, state citizen this? All natives are not citizens of the United States. The descendants of the Aborigines and those of African origin are not entitled to the rights of citizens. So, we're talking about, 32 years later.
Mm-hmm.
No, 32 wasn't it?
The Black Law Dictionary and the Bouvier.
Right. So we're talking about more than 30 to almost 40 years later, it's stating, now, if the 14th Amendment was fully ratified and approved in 1868, then why in 1910 the Black's Law Dictionary is still stating that you're not a citizen? Mm-hmm. And see, when I ask people this, lawyers, attorneys, esquires, judges, paralegals, Negroes, blacks, and coloreds, African Americans, hell, even more. Why does it state this 38 years after the so-called ratification of the 14th Amendment? They don't got an answer for that.
Well, they don't have one. No, they don't have one.
No.
You shut them up.
Right.
Because what they think is law is not law.
Right. And so I ask, prove to me that we're U.S. citizens. That's all I'm asking. Prove to me. Prove it. Because my wife and I called down to the passport agency back in 2008, and my wife explained that, ma'am, you know we're not U.S. citizens. And she said, yes, I know. But you need his passport, don't you?
Mm-hmm. She do.
Right. I had several court cases. One in particular, there was two female pale females, attorneys, DAs, who was trying to get us to confess to a non-crime, a victimless crime, which is actually a fraction, as they refer to it as. You're talking about no having driver's license type of nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife came out and told me, said, look, man, we don't fit into your scheme of things. We're not U.S. citizens. Maybe you never heard of maybe you've heard of the Dred Scott case decision, in which that states specifically that we're not U.S. citizens, nor will we ever be, so prove jurisdiction. When we got back in court, them heifers was talking about this is what we thought. Because you can't prove that we U.S. citizens if you have any goddamn jurisdiction over us.
That's what they found out.
It can't be proven. Because a privilege does not supersede a right. So you can say you can have a marriage license, you can have a birth certificate, you can have a social security card, you can have all these things. But once again, a privilege does not supersede a right. You have your voting right bill, an act, or whatever. You know what happens, you know what an act is. That means somebody's pretending. You know what a goddamn bill is. That's when somebody sends something to your house and you got to pay for that shit later. Well, a voting right bill is that. They're using your ass as collateral.
Exactly.
Every time you sign a goddamn voting right card or voting card, they're using your signature as collateral. And it's under the 3/5 clause.
There's not that many people that know that after the 10th Amendment, the rest of those amendments are fraudulent. Anything after the 10th Amendment, actually, it's really should be null and void.
Right.
Because there haven't been a constitutional convention since 1791, I believe, if I can remember. So you have a national, a constitutional convention has to be held. It's got to be held for Congress to convene on that. No.
Right, it has to be convened because right now they're in a corporate status. And as long as that is so, is a corporation, which right now they don't care that is a corporation because they have to abide by the executive orders, up under Franklin Delano Roosevelt of the House Joint Resolution 192, passed June 5th, 1933.
33.
But even then, we're still up under. If we was talking about trading with the Enemy Act, we're still under martial law now because that has never been convened on or reconvened on since the death of of Lincoln, President Lincoln. When he got assassinated, the country was still under martial law.
Right.
And so that's never been reconvened on either. So we are all the so-called U.S. citizens are under the Trading with the Enemy Act.
Yes. Yes, a lot of people saying that, they had to keep on lifting the Constitution. That's game. No, the Constitution already been lifted.
Right.
We got they had about 7 times they had a file for bankruptcy. I said, that's to keep the bankruptcy going. Like every 25 years, you have to sign the Civil Rights Bill. The same game. They keep on saying, the United States been bankrupt about, I think they said about 7 times, haven't it?
Yeah. As far as, if that's what we're gonna call it, we talking about, you're talking about with the inflation, you're talking about what took place in 1929,
right,
with the United States going bankrupt, and then of course in 2008 we had a bankruptcy with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and the different other mortgage lending companies and so forth and so on, and institutions. Even the Lehman Brothers was able to file. They damn part of the goddamn Federal Reserve Bank. They sit on the board of the Federal Reserve Bank and they went bankrupt. You know what I'm saying? So there's been probably at least that many amount of time, but it doesn't matter because they always come back with some type of way in order to keep this thing afloat. But the way that they're doing it, normally something like this wouldn't even last over a 75-year period. If you ask any financial officer or economist, they would say that having fiat money with nothing backing it, no gold, no silver, normally a system like this will only last probably about 70 to 75 years, no more than that.
Mm-hmm. But how I see it, all it is the renewal of the bankruptcy, to keep renewing.
Right. That's all it is. And using us as collateral. Right. And using us as collateral to do it.
Exactly. I keep on telling them the same thing with the Voting Rights Act. The same thing. Right. Every 25 years, they have to renew that. So, well, it's not been bankrupt so many times. No, it always was bankrupt.
Right.
They're just renewing the bankruptcy. That's all they're doing.
Yeah, they bankrupt. Yeah, well, they've been bankrupt ever since, like you said, 1791. Actually, that's when George Washington came in. Remember, hell, he didn't even have enough money to buy the damn soldiers' shoes.
No, he didn't. The last president did that, bought the soldier shoes was John Henson.
Right. So that means just from 1781, 10 years before, where John Henson was the United States president of the Congress Assembly and of the Confederacy, he was able to do that. However, 10 years later, by the time George Washington gets into office, he wasn't able to do it.
Okay, that's how that happened. Okay.
They've been bankrupt, but officially it was signed, look at what happened with President Lincoln. He was getting ready to produce our own greenbacks. And that's what actually got him killed, just like it did with John F. Kennedy.
Right.
You can look into his, I think it was 111000 executive order in which that he was getting ready to create his own greenbacks and have the Secretary of Treasury, to make our own money, instead of the Federal Reserve Bank, and he got killed. So, and anybody who checks the history between Lincoln and Kennedy will find some amazing similarities. It was like Kennedy could have possibly been the reincarnation of Lincoln. This is what some have speculated. You know what I'm saying? But, check it out. You can see, some of these great similarities between the two, about their deaths. Lincoln got killed in Ford Theater, and Kennedy got killed in a Ford. Just things like that. Lincoln's secretary was Kennedy, and Lincoln and Kennedy's secretary was Lincoln. Last name was Lincoln, something like that. So I mean, there's a lot of amazing shit between them two. That that would shock the hell out of you in a sense. At least have you thinking anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's thought provoking. So check those things out. I'm gonna go to a break. And during this break, I'm gonna talk about the Juneteenth celebration that we got coming up. This is June 19th, 20th, and 21st. This is Hill and Wings Institute presents the Melanin Holistic Health and Supreme Wellness Conference. This is June 19th, 20th, and 21st, 3 days of enlightenment and document, mastering various breath exercises, chakra cleansing, visual techniques, cosmic sounds of healing, Ushi Reiki 1, for those who want 2 and 3, Pranic Healing 1, those who want 2 and 3, Qigong 1, those who want 1 and 2 and 3, in particular Tibetan White Crane, Tai Chi, Qigong, even those who want to get initiated into the Order of Melchizedek, which is called Ikram, the indigenous cosmic going away Order of Melchizedek. For those who want to schedule coming out, please give us a call. 910-364-9099. That's 910-364-9099. You can go to our website, go to up and coming events on our website. Our website is www.dralimel-bey.com. That's DRALIMELBEY.com. Go there and you can see further information on it, in particular about booking your space. Any question that you might have, as well as also making your contributions, as well as also the closest hotels for the 3 days event. Or if you want to, if you have a tent, you can stay on the land. We will also go into our what is called various other events. We also do various other forms of martial arts, which is called the Usheta Sematawi. That is our healing, a holistic system in which that we have formulated and put together, which is part of Ikram. All right, so come on out, check us out. Anybody can come. Children is welcome. So check us out, 910-364-9099. All right, let's get back to the discussion, Brother Al. What's your take on what we've been talking about? What you think should be, what should our people do when they come into this understanding and knowledge? Is the first thing to do is after they read and study and listen to people like yourself and me, or Taj or Queen Valahara, or Brother Hakeem, or Sifu Minel, would the first thing to be is to nationalize, to reclamate and become or proclaim their nationality?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what everybody everybody need to do. Yes.
Right. Why do you think? Why do you think there's a need for it? Why do you think there's a need for nationality? When we look up the Black Star Dictionary definition of nationality, it speaks about one's political status. In other words, their allegiance.
Exactly. And we have a nationhood. Most of our people don't have any nationhood, and why we need to nationalize because of birthright theft. Our birthright was stolen away from us.
So the fact that they don't have, the fact that they're not United States citizens, nor will they ever be, that puts them in a dilemma that they will be treated as property, because property can't own property. So that means they have no choice but to proclaim and reclaim. All right. People who might have seen the new video, you have Brother Maluk All right, Brother Maluk is interviewing Brother Sarah Sutton Seti, and even Sarah Sutton Seti said, "Man, I know I need one. I need a nationality. I don't got one right now, but I know I need one." Y'all niggas better wake the fuck up. Right. They wake up. All right? Wake up.
Wake up and sign up to mooresbuild.net. I know Alim already did it, but everybody needs each other. We need each other. So we're going to be giving more information and building about the growth, and hopefully it will inspire others to do it in their area. I'm just excited. This is a beautiful time, and people are awakening to this vibration. You know what I mean? It's like more conversations being had. It's like it's a change that's manifesting for the better. I like it.
Exactly. So that's the thing what we talk about. That even Brother Sarah Seti was saying that he needs one because he don't have one. So now this is the brother that me and him debated, and we started this debate shit in a sense, the new age debate shit that is.
True.
The newfangled debate. All right. But the thing is that you have to come to that conclusion. I'm sorry. It's just what it is. You have to come to that conclusion.
And the conclusion is self-sufficiency.
Right. Self-sufficiency, self-recognition, self-love, self-worth. You don't have none of that if you just saying the white man is the devil. You know what I'm saying? That's not getting it. Because what the cracker understands is paper trail. All right? As long as your birth certificate is on the stock market and you're being sold for hundreds of millions of dollars in bundle, what they call it,
bunch
bonds. You know what I'm saying? And this is how they actually is selling you, and you don't have no say so in it, and you don't control that instrument. You never put a claim against it, and that's what a UCC is. So when people say that brother, you shouldn't have to do the UCC. Nigga, I got a goddamn birth certificate out there that I didn't create.
Exactly.
That somebody getting paid on, and I got these goddamn bills over here and these debts in which that I can possibly discharge if I know the process. And you telling me I shouldn't be interested in that? So when the sheriff or the police or anybody else come to my house and they ask about that name on that damn birth certificate and you don't show no superior claim of lien, what you think they're going to do?
Lock your butt up.
So it's good to have multiple things in place. I feel like all of these are solutions for this change. I don't want us to fight over what solution somebody has taken or what path somebody's taken when we all know each path is going to lead to the liberation of our people. So I just think we all need to be adding on, as best we can every single day. I just want to thank everybody who goes to the website and patronizes us. I really appreciate y'all liking our jewelry. We've implemented the children helping. So we want to raise a generation of seeds that are manifesting, that are self-employed, instead of unemployed or employed. So it's just really, really good. It's just really good, So we just want to say thank you. Uncle.
So the thing is that you have to understand there's a loophole in this system. There's a loophole in the matrix. All right? That's what they were showing in the movie. You get yourself and be able to be connected in order to jump back in order to get others out. Well, the only ones that came same time period that when that movie came out, I believe that movie came out, in 1999. I believe that's when it came out, 1999, 2000, somewhere around there. All right? Yeah, around 2000. That's when it came out, around 1999, 2000. Now, interestingly, if you remember, his name was Anderson. All right? His name was John, I believe it was John Anderson or something. Mm-hmm. But he kept, but when he got out the matrix and Smith was still calling him Mr. Anderson, he said, "My name is not Mr. Anderson. It is Neo." Okay? Understand that now he's taking authority of who he is.
Exactly.
He's now taking authority of who he is. He is
Free
now
national name.
utilizing his free national name. He's now using the name in which that he has chosen for himself, and he is no longer that Mr. Anderson in the system. But this is what this movie was showing you. They were showing you all the keys in this movie. And understand that this movie is nothing more than an updated version of The Wizard of Oz, of Alice in Wonderland, etc., etc. All right? It's a combination of all of that. Of course, you know that my wife and I, we interviewed the queen of the Matrix, herself, on our radio show here on First World Order Radio, Sophia Stewart, so this is where these concepts come from, and we have to understand, what we need to do,
And I love the third one because it truly revealed the vibration of the woman. I really love that. It was just genius, the whole thing.
And
Sagittarius is like such geniuses.
Right, so yep. We already spoke about the Juneteenth celebration. My wife's telling me I need to speak on it again.
Also too, Prince Bey's home.
Right, yes, Crown Prince Sultan Tupac Bey, who formed United Washington, who we derive our authority from, as he was the only one given the title of that magnitude by the Empress as being Crown Prince, while she was alive, living.
Sunday is his born day.
Right, June 7th. June 7th. Right.
She's gone. And if you're in the Wilmington area.
Right. So if you're in the Wilmington area, the South Carolina area, I should say North Carolina area, South Carolina area, even Virginia and Georgia area, if you want to, come on up to Myrtle Beach. We're going to be at Myrtle Beach June 7th, this coming Sunday. All right. That is his birthday. That is actually when, the day right before, June 6th, 2003, 12 years ago, was when he formed United Washington Deduct Amanya More Nation. So we're going to be celebrating these 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, particularly Sunday when we go to the beach, Myrtle Beach. So once again, give us a call for those who's interested, 910-364-9099. That's 910-364-9099. All right, check us out. All right. Let's go back to the movie again, all right? Because I don't think this is, remember, Prophet Noble Drali stated that in the year 2000, the Moors will come into their own. The movie in which that validates and correlates to our rising within 2000 was the movie Matrix. It was. That's just what it was, all right? Even though I've studied the Moors since 1989, all right? Who is Noble Drew Ali was one of the books by Imam Isa, who is known now as Dr. York. All right, he put that book out. All right, we had affiliations at the time with Lumberton, Moore Science Temple of America here in North Carolina, with the Grand Governor and with the Grand Sheik. All right, they used to come to our bookstore all the time, which was called the Hall of Knowledge. All right, and so they would meet with us and talk with us. So this was my first interaction with Moors, was back in '89. So when Hakeem stepped on the scene, I was proud that somebody was coming out with the information. When Seafree Manel stepped on the scene, I was glad somebody was coming out with the information. So that was the beautiful thing about it, is that I've already did my research and study on the Moore Science Temple, on Prophet Noble Drew Ali, And then for these brothers to come out and start putting these pieces of the puzzle together was the greatest thing. You know. All right. I know that right now, you know, there might be some newfangled brothers out here, but if you go back and look at the old VHS tapes, which is now probably converted over to the CDs, or not just CDs, but also to DVDs, and you look up Hakeem El-Bey, and you look up C. Freeman L., and you look up Queen Valahara, these are the people who was dropping it in the 90s, in the early to mid 90s, and Empress,
There's a big man.
Right, and you know, people who was interviewing these brothers and sisters at the time was Sister Uma and Brother M.U. Wally down in Cultural Communication off of Cascade in Atlanta, Georgia, when they had their bookstore DVD place open. Sister Burt from up in Buffalo, New York, before she passed, she was doing it back then. You know, several others.
Wow.
Who was doing it back then.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Who was, you know, with Brother Sarnetta years ago. You know, so we talking about people who, you know, who actually seen these brothers and sisters in action, you know, and was able to record this information for us. So if you get a chance, look these brothers and sisters up. You know, you won't regret it, you know, and more than likely you have already had, so I'll probably preaching to the choir. But the thing is that, you know, we might have the new members of the choir that's coming onto the scene. So we got to get them involved too. And because this is the dilemma in which that we have it. You know what I'm saying? So why are people still deaf, dumb, and blind in the information age? Why are they still deaf and blind? Why?
Because they need to go to mooresbuild.ning.com. See, there you're going to have a chance to vent and build with people who are on this information, so you can know that you're not crazy, because you know you're one of the black sheep, or you got questions, or you just want to talk about the wonderful knowledge that you've learned, you know, with people who can dialogue back. That's important, you know. So to be a place where singles can hook up, you know, learn different tips and tricks that make manifest, you know, and that you can apply. So come on over.
That's going to make me finish that article. That article on the Washington newspaper. We finished already. I've been dragging on it, but now I'm going to really finish it this time. And so we maybe get the news out by newspapers as well. You know, trying to reach them as much as we can.
Those are definitely needed, God. You know what I mean? There's people who are not on the internet like this generation is, and the generation underneath. You know, so that's a great idea. To see that make manifest. We got a lot of Capricorn energy, so shouts out to the Capricorns in the cipher. Thank you so much for y'all vibrations, your inspirations. You know, we stay adding on. You know, we're just so grateful, because it's like a couple Capricorns that have been manifesting this couple of weeks, and grateful, very grateful.
Indeed. All right. Anything else you want to build on, Brother L, as far as that is concerned? Once again, why are so many people deaf, dumb, and blind?
Yes, I heard you say something about Saraseti. He was back in the 90s?
Right. No. Saraseti Seti just recently, Brother Muluk, who's the new brother on the scene, who's going around interviewing everybody and asking them what their nationality is. He asked Brother Saraseti Seti what his nationality is. And Saraseti Seti said that, I don't have one, but I know I need one. So if he realized it, then what's up with the rest of y'all niggas? That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
All right.
Because he definitely know. He heard us talk.
Right.
I know he heard you talk,
right.
Taj talk, Sister Valera talk, Brother Hakeem Bey talk, C.C. Manel talk. So what's the problem with it?
I have no idea. But the fact that he even said that verifies the fact that there's growth and that there's understanding in which that is taking place, and that, you know, people are going to have to come to their own growth and to their own understanding real soon. Every 30 years, we have had a name change. 1900, we was Negroes. 1930, we was coloreds. 1960, we was blacks. 1990, we was African Americans. So that means 2020, we're gonna be Moors. We got 5 more years to get this shit straight, y'all. All right. So let's let's work on it. Let's get it, get it right.
And health tip, real quick, because I'm feeling the vibration for the kidneys. It's because of fear, I believe, and also because we've been educated by the Europeans, and we're speaking English, So in that vibration, let's heal the kidneys, because that's what it is, the fear. And it's a lot of people on dialysis, so rubbing the kidneys, and also like throwing your hands around your body like in a windmill, like children do. And also lemon, freshly squeezed lemons. Those are just great. You can either bathe in them because they help to cleanse your aura, or drink it, just straight up drink it. You want the lemons with the seeds in it. And be industrious more and plant them seeds, plant them jokers.
Yes.
Because they grow. We'll also have that recipe on neem.com. I'm about to go put that on there right now. The candle, because we also want to talk about the spiritual tip. The candle for today is the green candle. Yesterday's was blue, and the day before that it was violet. So you definitely want to break that down. If you haven't put up your picture of your sign and your height, your weight, your hair color, and your children, how many you got and what their names are, and you're looking to meet with someone in your area, then you need to go over there and do it so you can be known. Mooresbuild.neem.com. Yeah. And soon it'll be just mooresbuild.com. But until then, it's mooresbuild.neem.com. We're really excited about it.
All right, everybody heard that. So check us out on mooresbuild.neem.com. Sign up. Become members. Sign up right now. We're trying to blow this up because we're trying to give you all the information. And so you're going to see articles from myself, from many hundreds and dozens and dozens of people on there, in which that will help with traffic violations,
on everything you
right,
can apply.
child support, health, wealth, knowledge of yourself, everything, So check us out. Check us out.
Something for the children. It's going to be huge. So it's free. It's free. It's for the next 5 days. You have 5 more days to sign up for free. Then after that, it'll be $9.99 one-time fee. God, come on. No, go around. Go around, God. I don't know if I'll even tell you, but we got 4 families here. And, well, we do. But I wanted to complete my story. I'm telling you, it's just so good to have these families here. Y'all also heard the Mac family. They are on Thursdays. Y'all already know he is on tips. And then we also have Chiefess Kaylani on Sundays, staying spiritually centered with Chiefess Kaylani. So we got a whole bunch of things manifesting. I'm excited. I can't wait to go to the beach.
All right, Brother L, what you got to say in closing before we get up off of here?
Okay, brother. I believe we reached a lot of people tonight because probably when I call you again, you gonna saying you want to get the sister busy. What y'all doing? I'll be throwing out these nationality papers. So I know we are succeeding in certain areas. I know we are.
We are. Right, we are. Yeah. This has never happened before in history. The last time that this probably manifested to this level was like if you've seen Roots.
Yes.
On Roots, right before Kunta Kinte or Toby got his foot cut off, the overseers was looking for Kunta Kinte because he ran away, or Toby ran away.
Right.
You see, notice how he had an indigenous name, Kunta Kinte, then they changed his name to Toby, which meant good nigga. So that right there shows you, that it's necessary to change your name. So hence, in the movie Matrix, his name was Mr. Anderson. Then he became Neo. So he changed his name. So it's showing you the parallels on what took place. Even if you go to Roots, it shows you how we were denationalized. Even in the movie Matrix, how you can, gain some type of self-worth and change your status. All right. So in the movie Roots, when the overseers were looking for Kunta Kinte, they ran upon this free so-called black who was a Moor and his son. The first thing they asked him was, where are your papers? He pulls out his papers, his documentation. Because these was his affidavits in which they verified that he was a free black or a Moor. Mm-hmm. And so he was not categorized as a slave. Therefore, he was able to continue on with his son on his business, and Kunta Kinte got caught and got that damn foot chopped off. So, of course, Kunta Kinte was Toby is property. Okay? When the free black, you seen the free black, he had his own horses, he had his own carriage.
Exactly.
He was free, so he was able to own his own property. Okay?
He had a nationality.
His documents, unlike today, you have optional Form 90 and optional Form 91. Optional Form 90 is release on lien on real property, and 91 is release of personal property from escrow. All right?
When you have a nationality, it changes your mindset.
And the nationality changed that altogether. He was able to own property now, and not be violated for owning property in that regard. Right. That's what that's showing you.
And he didn't wish to work for the European to manifest that which he needed in his life because he was dealing with creativity. Like, didn't he have his own mill or something like that? He had own stuff. I remember they had pianos and stuff. They was jealous.
That was in Rosewood, and that's what that showed you in Rosewood too. Mm-hmm. If you remember the Pell men was sitting on the porch, and they was talking about the brother having a piano. He said, I ain't got no piano. And said, Rufus, you don't know how to play no piano. He said, so? I ain't got no piano. And, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's the thing.
Oh, my God. But y'all know niggers and niggas and niggoos and niggas. It's gods and goddesses. Niger and Nigeria. Don't be angry about being called a teacher, a guru, a god.
So definitely. That's the scene in which that people have to go back and check out and look at, because that's something in which that I don't think a lot of people analyze. And I remember asking Alex Haley about that particular scene, and he basically ignored me. It was right before he passed, like about a year or two right before he passed. He came to Federal State University, and I was still, I think I was in my junior year, and I asked him that question about the roots scene, about that particular scene, and about also, if we was Muslims, praying to Allah, as you see on the beginning scenes there, then, why and how, did you not speak about that, in the movie, beyond just, that shown in the beginning, because Kunta Kinte, he knew his name, he remembered his traditions. Why was these things not passed on? That was not.
I think he did the best he could, in that time frame without, dying for it.
But there had to be some other thing behind it. There had to be some other force behind it, because there's no way that you can understand that even in oppression, there's more information that you would want to pass down. Because look at what happened with Marcus Garvey. That's what I'm talking about, when he had 3 to 6 million people following him. You know what I'm saying? Acknowledging the fact that, we can go back to Africa and get the resources of the land and utilize it in order to build our infrastructure here. All right, this is what Marcus Garvey planned. All right, so, how is it that he was able to do that without radio, without TV, without internet, only through word of mouth, and be able to accomplish what he did? You know what I'm saying? That's what we're talking about. And we were so pressed. We was more pressed 100 years ago than we are, allegedly now, even though these recent beatings and killings may not prove any different, but allegedly we was even more freer now than we were then 100 years ago. So what was it then? Even in the oppressed states, we was able to be still so creative. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the inventions in which that took, you're talking about the lawnmower was created by John Muir. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not mistaken, that was his name. The light fixtures, in particular, the light bulb was by Lewis Lattimore. The telephone apparatus, or what becomes the telegraph or the telephone later, was by Granville T. Woods. The lighting system, you know what I'm saying? You know, the traffic lights that we see.
Blood transfusion,
you know,
refrigerators,
right. Everything was created.
Yes.
Why, how, and why in our most oppressed states, we was the most creative and we was able to do the most fantastic things, you know, and yet now, you know what I'm saying, we believe that we free and we aren't free, and look at the stagnation and the creativity in which that is taking place today. Look at the amount of things in which that is being created. We now not saying that we're not creative, we still are creative.
But we was closer to Islam then.
But we was closer to knowledge of self.
Yeah.
In other words, even in that state, there had to be things in which that was still passed on to the youth. You know what I'm saying? In other words, there still had to be some type of inner culture, you know. And I'm talking about beyond just the soul food, you know, the pig pickings and, you know, eating the watermelons and all that type of stuff in which that we've been stereotyped on. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about that there had to be some type of connections in which that we were still dealing with, you know, greater connections. So when we talking about why are people still deaf, dumb, and blind in the new age of technology or the new age of information or age of information, you know, we're looking at these, incidences and which we need to find solutions for. You know what I'm saying? You know, we looking at all these police beatings and killings. You know, what is it that we need to do? You know, what is it that they're trying to force us to do? For example, in one aspect, we can see them trying to their martial law upon us by having by creating more of these street tanks and these different other weapon sound post beam weaponry and all these different things. You know what I'm saying? You know, in order to incite riots so that they can have a reason, you know what I'm saying, to do these things. But we can also see the fact that, you know, the need in order to nationalize, in order to come from up under them so that you can start doing for self.
So they tired of taking care of us, useless eaters, and all them other terms.
Exactly.
Rounding up children, missing children, stuff in the food.
Maybe they get too lax.
Right.
Maybe they think the struggle is over. You know,
right?
I don't see how. You know,
right?
I don't see how they can think that. You know,
but, I know this isn't a state, but
well, right. Exactly. It goes back to the movie Matrix, right? Ignorance is bliss. Ain't there? That's what Cypher said. Cypher said, "Ignorance is bliss."
Why they named him Cypher? They should have named him Judas or Uriel.
Mm-hmm. He did say that. He did say that now. He said that ignorance is bliss. Yes, I know this steak isn't real, but it tastes so good. And that's what we're going through right now. You know what I'm saying? We can see all these, you know, I remember when, 20 years ago, you know, when, actually it was almost 25 years ago now. But when Rodney King got beat up and how people went crazy,
right.
you know, and that was just off of one, police. And what happened? The same thing happened. The police officers got off.
And they still haven't learned anything yet.
No, Rodney King. So they got off. So matter of fact, what's his name? I think his name is Coon or something. You know, now just imagine a cracker named Coon. But anyway, he goes on to he goes on to write books and and sell millions of books. So this is the nonsense. So should we continue sticking around, you know what I'm saying, in this system to be brutalized, or
do you start
adding on and doing for self? That's the question.
For self.
Right, exactly. That's what's going on.
But what's the solutions? There are many. That's the solution. That there are many
solutions. Many solutions. We constantly dropping them out here.
Right, and the first solution is from what I'm seeing is nationality, because all the greats have stated that we don't have it.
Let me give you an example. I was in the store, the filling station, giving me a candy bar, and I swiped my debit card. It had Fahim written with an L on there. The Arabs treated me different than the rest of the Asiatics in that store. And they saw me with my cane. They said, "Sir, do you need anything else?" I said, "No, I don't need anything else." And I wonder, why was this man so humble? Why was he so humble toward me? And then I looked at my debit card and said, "Oh, he saw my name." I said, I told a brother, I forgot one of the brother's name in Chicago. He said he knew that you're not a nigger.
Right.
That's what they're so humble toward you. That's what I'm saying. Don't tell me when you get a nationality, when you get your nationality and birthright in check, when you have a free national name, you are not treated different. Don't tell me that, And this is what some brothers, English brothers, try to tell me. Don't make any difference whether you get your name corrected or not. Don't make no difference if you get a nationality. Don't make no difference if you get your birthright. Don't make no difference. You're still going to be the same. That's a lie.
Well, this is it. This is essentially what he's saying, is that what you're saying is going to make a difference because I'm still going to be mistreated for the color of my skin, and that might be the case. But understand this is that this is talking about status correction. Right now, your status is Negro, black, and colored, which is property.
They got. Yeah, cut off.